Hi guys, my name is Emily, and today I'm going to talk about all of the things that I am currently reading, because I am very bad at being monogamous to just one book. So I have 11 books on the go currently. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably see these different days. One day will be Robin Hobb, one day will be something else. I'm going to show you what I'm currently reading because some of these things I'm like actively reading right now and some of these things I am stuck on. And I'm wondering if you've read these things, if you could maybe help motivate me to finish these things. So the first thing is The Magicians by Lev Grossman. So I'm probably in the last third of the book, I would say. I mean, initially it was super interesting, and then like everything got a little bit weird, and I'm finding it really hard to motivate myself to read this because it totally wasn't what I was expecting. I feel like if somebody had told me that this was a Narnia criticism, I would have been more prepared going into this. But somebody told me, and the back of the book actually says this, it's like Harry Potter for adults. This is not like Harry Potter for adults. Yes, it takes place in a boarding school, but it is like 100% playing with the magician's nephew. But I'm finding it really hard to shake the fact that it's supposed to be like Harry Potter in my mind, because that's what I was told it was like when I bought it, and I was like, ooh, Harry Potter for adults, so excited. So if you love this, please help motivate me to finish it. Tell me, what did you think of the whole series without any spoilers? Because I mean, I really would like to finish it if it gets better. I know a lot of people who have similar tastes really seem to like this, and I'm just stuck at this point. So the next book is The Blue Sword by McKinley. This title came up in my research for my thesis project as a sort of proto-feminist, feminist fantasy text, and I'm having trouble seeing how it's feminist when a young girl was kidnapped by a random man from the desert, and he was like, I'm gonna let you in on my like weird mind power thing, and you're gonna ride horses and be super badass. And she's like, yeah, okay, I guess. Just go with this. If she's really this badass and feisty, why wouldn't she fucking run away? Why does she stay with him, the man who kidnapped her, who like, she doesn't speak their language, they do give her a horse to ride, she could ride away. I'm so stuck with just the situation that I can't motivate myself to see what happens with the rest of the plot. So if you've read this and love it, help me. So the next book is Night Moves by Richard Van Camp. This is a collection of short stories. I love Richard Van Camp. It's just, I'm having a hard time with short stories right now. I'm feeling like settling in to a long series and like being really cozy with my characters, but I know because I love Richard Van Camp that I will come back to this. The other thing that I keep getting asked about, when will I review this? And the answer is when I finish it. And again, this is Bazaar of Bad Dreams by Stephen King. This is a collection of short stories, and like I said, I am struggling with the short stories. I just feel like something weightier than a short story, something meatier. I have 1/3 left, but it's not feeling like short story time right now. So the next book is for the hashtag Hobbalong, and that is Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. Now, I was really enjoying Assassin's Apprentice. I liked the whole idea of the Red Ship Raiders and the Forged, and I want to know what's going on there, and I like the idea of the skill and the wit, and I like Fitz. This is such a man-heavy book. There's just so much manliness, and nothing works out for him, and like the female characters that surround him. Like, my thing in fantasy literature is strong female characters, or at least diverse characters, not necessarily female. And I'm finding this isn't very diverse, and the female characters kind of suck. I think the most compelling female character that we got, Fitz assassinated. I'm stuck about halfway through. Like, I might be able to get past just the Wienerfest if there was more plot. But the plot is dragging, and I know that the Hobbalong has now moved along to the 3rd book in this series, and I really would like to keep up with the Hobbalong, so hopefully I will finish this just to keep up with everybody else. But right now, we're not getting along. I'm also more than halfway through End of Watch by Stephen King, which is the last book in the Bill Hodges trilogy. I am really enjoying this. Without spoiling anything, I'm not super loving where I see this going, just based on what we find out about Bill right off the bat. I can see fairly easily where the ending is going, and I don't super love, my imagined ending, and I'm finding it hard to finish because of that. But I definitely will finish this soon because I want to post a review for it, because I know that you guys do like the Stephen King reviews. Then, a million years ago, I started Saga Volume 1 because everybody on BookTube seems to love Saga. Not feeling super compelled to pick this up. So if you like Saga and you think I should continue, let me know why you like Saga, because I've kind of lost the hype for this. Like, I was so caught up in the hype about how awesome it is, how beautiful it is, all the sci-fi awesomeness, and maybe you could help re-inspire me. I am halfway through the complete collected works of Nelvana of the Northern Lights. This is the first female superhero. She predates Wonder Woman by a couple of months, I believe. I think the problem for me is that this is my first attempt at graphic novel. This is really more comic books, and they're old school comic books, so they're all black and white. It's not super fun to look at. Also, they have a tendency to be super racist because it's like the 40s when they wrote this. Canadian Indigenous superhero woman is what drew me to this, but I'm finding it hard to read this for enjoyment. And then I have also started reading Beyond the Pale by Emily Urquhart, which is something that I heard Jen talk about on her channel. It's sort of the folklore and the mythology behind albinism, and it sounds really cool, and the introduction was really good, but I want to have the time to devote to this. And so even though I've started reading it and I'm like, this is so interesting, I have so many other things, as you can see. And then, for my book club, I got to pick the books this month, and the second book is Written on the Body. The first was Girl Meets Boy, which I read and loved. From the first little bit that I have read, this is interesting, and I am interested, and it's another one of those things where I can't do the flitty thing I like to do, flitting between books. I feel like I have to sit down and read the whole thing in one shot. And I don't have the time to do that. This I have started, and again, not finished because I don't have the time to devote a whole day to just reading this at this point. The final book that I'm going to show you is Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. Super popular here on BookTube. I picked it up because I've heard there's a canonically queer character, and it's fantasy, and that's reason enough. Canonically queer character in fantasy. This is the thing that I have been reaching for most because it's easy to read. I love the women of 300 Fox Way. I wish there was more about the women of 300 Fox Way and less about all the man problems, but I get that it's the Raven Boys, and it's about the Raven Boys and blue, but I am enjoying this, and again, I'm about halfway through this, and I don't see myself getting stuck with this. Those are the books that I am currently reading. All of them, and I know they're not all listed on Goodreads. I think some of the things that are on Goodreads currently are not in this currently reading pile because I've been really lax with updating my Goodreads. Somewhere I am not super lax is Instagram. Instagram is one of the few social media platforms that I actually enjoy. If you want to kind of keep up with me on a more regular basis, it's probably best to follow me there because I do try and take just pictures of what I am doing daily or every other day, which is far more than I update any other social media. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these things, if you've loved any of these things, if you've hated any of these things. Sometimes hate is enough to motivate me to read something because I want to see why you hated it and if I feel the same. I'm posting this video just to kind of motivate myself to finish things and to try and make this currently reading pile slightly more manageable. Thank you so much for listening to me. I look forward to our discussions in the comments down below, and I will see you soon. Bye!